Marion County Quorum Court, September 12th, 2023, final session. Please rise for prayer and stay roll your feet for the pledge of allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight knowing that you're the one and true wise God and that we are your subjects, created in your image. Lord, that you would bless us with wisdom from you to lead this great people that you have entrusted in our care. We thank you for everything you've done for us. We honor you and give you praise. In the name of Jesus.
Amen. Mrs. Perdue.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call roll.
Justice Grima,
Call and roll.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
good luck. Justice Nichols,
Here.
Justice Van Kuren,
Here.
Justice White,
Here.
Justice Reed,
Present.
Justice Hutchings,
Here.
Justice Shipman,
Here.
Justice Brigham, or Justice McCullough.
Any additional correction to the minutes from last month? Motion to accept. You got a motion to accept? You got a second? I got a motion and a second to accept the minutes. All those for?
Aye.
Against? Treasurer's report, they are at a conference right now. So sheriff's report. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just want to ask, when are we able to ask questions about the monthly reports?
About the other reports.
The monthly reports, I have some questions
If
coming.
anybody's present today, when I'm done with the sheriff, I'll open it up for questions on all the other reports that were submitted.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
what if they're not present?
You can shoot emails or do phone calls.
Can I, if they report to you, can I ask you?
You sure can.
Okay.
Yes.
The detention center report and the law enforcement report, it should stand as submitted. We're sitting currently with, I believe it's 33 inmates in the facility, which we are down. And, we'll try to get a few more back in as soon as we get our workers put back in place. We're down a few jailers at this time. The Metro and the deputies both, they've been traveling a lot, they've been doing a good job. They've made several arrests. The sex offender, Mr. Danny Burkett, has checked on 7 of the 74 that we've got in the county. And we made a home visit last night. I believe we're going to end up arresting one of them that's been a little out of line. But that's not a good thing. But we're doing well. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Sheriff, on the, I haven't heard anything in a while about that health care. Where are we at on all that?
The lady that's taking care of the health care, his name is Leslie Vargas, and it is with the healthcare system out of Clinton, and I just lost the name. Access Medical, and she's doing a wonderful job. I mean, she's coming and seeing the inmates whenever they sign a script that they need to see a doctor. She's showing up within a lot of times within 30 minutes.
Okay, so we think that that's a sustainable plan that we're having with her?
I hope so.
Okay.
Good deal.
And she, whenever she comes and sees an inmate, she's charging for that inmate, just a charge to see that, and it's Medicare rates. Thank you.
Any more questions for the sheriff? All right, questions on all of the reports submitted? Yes, ma'am.
I noticed on the E911 report that she had in-out transactions total for 2,427. I would just kind of like to know what some of those are.
Give me a second to get through.
10,000, it's on page 14. What's considered an in-out transaction?
All right. And we had a little bit of COVID right now in the dispatch room, so she would have been here tonight. Her name is Ann Roberts. She's my new E911 coordinator. So I will be introducing her next month to you all.
Mr. Chairman, regarding 911, a while back, we received a report that showed a breakdown of some of the calls. When we questioned it, we were told that the new system did not provide for it. They would have to manually input it. We've asked her now with the new system, I did some research. The prior software did provide for it if it was programmed in it. My question is to her is, I'd like to see a breakdown on the other area calls that 911 is taking in and dispatching various personnel. And we still haven't gotten that. And that was in, I want to say January, February, when this was all discussed.
Yes, when Mrs. Foster was still there, I had her print out every program that it could. I provided the ones that were able to be seen to Justice Brigham, and I kept them myself. I have those in my office. I can give those to you as well. That shows what that system can do.
Yeah, I would agree
Yes.
with that.
That's no problem at all. Yes, ma'am.
So you're not able to tell me what the 10,427?
No, I will find out for you, and I will have her contact you this week.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I'm moving on to page 13, the OEM report.
Okay.
Can you tell me, down at the bottom, we wrote a grant for the Argus Community Foundation in the amount of $10,000. I would like to know why, when that is a Rotary / City of Yellville.
We didn't get the grant for 10,000. It was denied.
I'm not asking that, I'm asking what would you wanting to get with that $10,000?
Money for turkey trot.
Again, did the City of Yellville or did the Rotary ask the county to get $10,000?
No,
Or to help them out?
not at all.
So what was that money, the grant money gonna be used for?
To help out turkey trot. It's the largest and oldest festival that we have here in Arkansas, and the NWA EDD brought to our attention that there were grants available for festivals of that age. So I have my OEM filling out all grants possible that can help out Marion County.
But you can't tell me what he requested that $10,000 be spent on?
No, if we would have got the 10,000, we would give it to the Rotary Club for turkey trot. I believe we were awarded 1,500. I think it'll be to us next week. We'll be presenting it to the Rotary Club. I think any monies we can get for that festival will be the best interest of Marion County.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
On the OEM report, near the end, it discussed some procedures, and they were looking into it. One of the responsibilities I read in every audit report, when a department is cited, the Quorum board members are to hold a meeting with that individual, that department, and that individual or this department is supposed to come up with a plan to prevent the problem from happening again. But it looked like to me in the verbiage that OEM was gonna look into it. And I'm thinking that's beyond his.
Which program are you referring to?
I beg your pardon?
On page 13?
Yes. Near the end, I got the impression, maybe I'm wrong, that there were some departments cited in the 21 budget report we just received, or 22 budget report, and some of the various departments. And now we we acknowledge we received the report. The next, as the governing body, we're supposed to have a meeting with the elected official who is supposed to come up with a plan to prevent that from happening again. So one item that was cited has been continually going on for the last 3 years.
Which item was cited?
It's the item regarding law enforcement, I think it was 52,000 that was unaccounted for. I'm gonna say, I could be wrong in the year, 2 or 3 years ago, and now it's up to 83,000, I think. And
And it was in the 21.
it was the last audit report we got, I think it was 21.
I'll have to go back and look. I didn't see that, and that wasn't one of the 14 respondents that I made for the findings.
So he's not looking, so I took his comment. I know he's not looking into that, but I got the impression he was gonna be looking into issues that were cited in the audit
The
report.
OEM is not looking into any issues in the
Okay,
in the audit report whatsoever.
Then I misunderstood.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
no problem at all. Any more questions on reports submitted? Yes, sir.
On that same 911 report, it mentioned that there were a couple of times that the 911s had to be routed to Baxter County because it rained.
Correct.
Is that a technical issue that we're working to solve, or is that?
Well, what we came to find out is when it was constructed years ago, the ground wire was the wrong size and was never grounded. So this has been an ongoing issue even when I was deputy sheriff, and we never understood the problem. We got to the bottom of it, and we now have a new ground wire ran that is the proper width, and it is actually grounded. So hopefully when we have a storm come through, that we don't have to reroute to Baxter or Brown County.
Okay. Yeah, it said something about grounding, but I didn't realize it was the resolution to that issue.
Yes, ma'am.
The ongoing issue, that triggered, where are we on the deputy OEM position, or title?
As of right now, I'm not receiving the title.
I'm sorry, what,
As of right now, I'm leaving numbers and calling the way it is with her.
is she
Hold on,
using that?
it's 15 words long. What is it? Is the defense,
So she is using that title against the Quorum court or the
her
personnel?
title has not changed in numbers and calling.
Is she using that title?
I came to the personnel committee to change the title and the book it down.
You did not, you were not here for that meeting?
Correct. For a title change, not bring them.
Right.
So as of right now, I'm not bringing it forward again because that was embarrassing. I admitted fault in the Quorum court meeting and said I'd bring it to the personnel committee meeting, and you turned around and asked me to my face, why would I vote it in then? I said, why wouldn't you?
Okay,
For a title change.
at all due respect, at a meeting I attended recently, she had a shirt on that was embroidered that said OEM
Correct.
deputy. So she is using that title even though it has not been changed in numbers and columns.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Do we have any more questions for reports that have been submitted? Planning Commission.
Planning Commission, no new business.
Yes, okay, all right. Budget Committee.
We had a meeting the 31st, and the notes are in the back.
Have a motion to accept the Budget Committee minutes?
Motion.
I've got a motion. I have a second. All those for? Against? Personnel Committee. I'm sorry, who? Personnel motion didn't meet. Am I going too fast? And Justice Scrim a second. All right. Did we have a Personnel Committee meeting?
No.
All right. I don't believe we have law enforcement or solid waste or procedures and managements. Any old business to be discussed? Yes, sir.
I'd like to go back to this Cecilia Million thing.
Yes.
Now, I'll keep it very short here, and you and I can meet later.
Yes, sir.
But I just want to point out, the first thing that comes to my mind is that there's really no point in a job description if we're not going to put the person that has the job description in that position and doing something else. So I'll just leave it at that for now,
Yes.
and I'd like to meet with you later.
Correct. Yeah, so just to reiterate, the job description is not changing, she's doing the exact same job.
There's We'll discuss it later,
All right,
but there's no way that the job description didn't change. When
I have not
she's,
changed a word of it. But we can talk later if you like.
well, let me finish this thought. It may not have changed on paper, but the functionality of what she's doing has had to have changed for her to operate in different positions. There's making signs and taking in information from FEMA versus being the OEM in the absence of the OEM is not the same description. It can't be. But I'll do that.
All right. As part of her title is disaster prep.
On the same subject. And we had various discussions, job descriptions, when the position is hired, you create an ordinance for the position.
Yes.
If the titles change, we didn't get an ordinance. And it continues to go on.
Justice Scrivener,
Yes, sir.
I wasn't aware, and I apologize at the Quorum Court meeting in front of all the people sitting here, that you guys were involved with a title change. Why would I think anybody would want to be involved with just a title change? Now, when it comes to the job description and the money, that is your lane, and I would come to you every time. Once I found out, I publicly apologized,
But I would say.
and I brought it forward, and it's not going anywhere right now. So I didn't want to bring it forward again, because it's embarrassing.
A job description, that you would have the job, the requirements with the job description and the salary. That would be all part of the title change.
I didn't change job description or money. But I understand, and I'll bring it forward again.
Well, I'm just saying,
Yes.
we keep talking about ordinances and other departments are being cited, and yet it's just a way of life. We make a change without an ordinance. And I said it.
And I brought the ordinance forward, and it was voted down for a title change.
Okay.
All right.
Why did the title change?
It hasn't changed on paper at all. Yes, ma'am.
There's no need for you to bring it to us, because you're gonna do what you want to do anyway.
I want to bring it to you. Let's do the best in Marion County for a title change going forward. Yes, sir.
Personnel tabled that committee until you could meet with the committee and address those issues.
Okay.
So right now, it's probably overkill.
Yes, so
So let's go back to personnel committee.
I will bring it back to, the personnel committee with the ordinance.
I appreciate that.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Again, why bring it to us? She's already got new clothes that has her title on there.
At the time, I wasn't aware of
And,
it.
and
Call to order. I'm done discussing this right now. We'll discuss at the personnel committee meeting. Do we have more old business? I said call to order. I said I'm going to discuss at the personnel committee meeting.
At one of the budget meetings, we were asked to review the salaries of OEM because of the ad of just one person. Out of all 27 counties, I mean, it's something like 25 or 26, only have one person there.
Okay.
I mean, there's none, only one of them has 5, and then that's it. Out of the 25 counties, 16 of them pay below $25,000 for the OEM. There's a big difference from what we're paying right now. We need to look at that a lot closer. We can't just put people in there.
I would love to sit down and look at that with you and go over the numbers.
Okay.
Do we have any more old business? New business? I'll turn it over to you. Well, I would entertain a motion to read by title only with the numbered ones that we have.
Motion to read by title only.
Second.
I got a motion and a second, to read by title only. All those for?
Aye.
Against? Read by title only, please.
Appropriation ordinance 2023-97, transfer unappropriated funds from 2000 county road fund for machinery and equipment purchase in the amount of $255,000.
Move to accept.
Motion. You got a first and a second? Discussion? Yes, sir.
Judge, you sent out an email that was very descriptive of the process that you went through to get to that $255,000.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchings,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrimmers.
Yes.
Motion passed.
There you go. You go to the next one.
Transfer appropriation ordinance 2023-98. Transfer appropriated funds to purchase a license plate in the amount of $13.
Motion accept.
Second.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
What do we do? We're buying a license plate for what?
Colors.
Can I just pay the $13 and we'll just strike the ordinance? It's gonna cost us, I'm sorry, say what?
Can we explain how
Well,
this grant?
You can, but I mean, really, I don't need an explanation. I just paid the $13 to save the county money.
It's to reimburse the ARPA fund for the money they already paid for the license plate. That's all it is. It takes it out of the coroner's fund to reimburse the ARPA fund, that's all.
Is it, I mean, genuinely, is it worth doing this? I mean, we absolutely have to
For-
pay to
For our
publish.
For ARPA, yes.
Defense.
Federal funds, yes.
It's good to have the paper trail documentation on how.
I wish it weren't, but we have to.
I'll donate $13.
Justice Van Kuren,
No,
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchings,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrimmers,
Yes.
Justice Nichols.
Yes.
Motion passes. Transfer appropriation ordinance 2023-99. Transfer appropriated funds to the purchase of small equipment. The monies need to be transferred from line item 4004 to line item 2002 and the American Rescue Fund to Have a Heart Pet Shelter 3046-0805 for the purchase of small equipment and the amount of $14,088.28.
Motion.
Second.
That was Scrimmett, and that was discussion, yes, sir.
In the budget committee, I made the point to ask, was this new money? And it was not. It's money that was already been appropriated under another ordinance. And they're just transferring from one fund to the other.
Okay. That wasn't the budget, but
do we have to have ordinance to line item transfer like that? Those are pretty close together topics. They can't just interchange?
Different funds. Different funds. Different line items.
Yeah.
4004 is different category.
Justice White?
Yes.
Justice Reed?
Yes.
Justice Hutchings?
Yes.
Justice Shipman?
Yes.
Justice Brigham?
Yes.
Justice Scrimmett?
Yes.
Justice Nichols?
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren?
Yes.
Appropriation ordinance 2023-100. This appropriation is for the obligations of funds for the cost of federal audits for funds received from American Rescue Fund 3046 for 2022 to 2026 in the amount of $40,000.
Motion.
Second.
You know, first and second, that was Scrivener. Discussion, yes, sir.
What's the difference between a federal audit and a legislative audit? What's the purpose of a
Federal audit is for the federal, legislature of the state.
Okay,
I said federal's from the fed, the government, and legislature of the state of Arkansas.
so what are they auditing?
The ARPA funds.
And it costs us $40,000 for them to come in and audit.
That's to cover several years. So we're obligating that money because we have to have that money obligated for, and we need to average about 10,000 a year. So just to put that money obligated. We don't have to spend it all this year. We just need to obligate it. So when it's ready to spend for the audit, it's done.
It's gotta be expended by the end of 26, so. that's-
Well, we have to have it obligated.
So that's 20,000 a year.
Yeah, but we need to have it obligated. I don't want to be short.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, in a federal audit, they have to look at all the detail of the paperwork. That's to ensure that we're receiving federal funds for a specific purpose. They want to ensure that it's being used for that purpose. So they go in any kind of an audit. Now it's federal, it's going to be more than a normal local audit, state audit. It's federal audit, when we get fire department funds, we get audited, and they don't come in for a negative. And like she says, if it's a time lapse of the money's to hold it up for 2 or 3 years, they're gonna keep coming back.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Who are we paying $10,000 a year to?
A federal auditor.
Yeah.
That's been the estimate they've given us is 10,000 that it would cost a year to
So
do
they-
an audit.
They say like, here's the coronavirus money, but one of the requirements of receiving the money is that you're gonna have to use the same money to pay for the audit when we come to audit you.
They told us when we were at Northwest Arkansas Economic Development that it's better that we do that we use those funds for that audit, because it will save us from having to use county general or anything else.
And it's not optional, I mean, they're gonna come regardless.
They're gonna audit it, one way or the other.
Regardless.
Yes, have to.
Yes, sir.
Well, obviously, we'll have to pass this, but it's kind of odd that we have to pay them to come for their audit to come here. That's just the new concept, that we have to pay the feds to audit.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, when you apply for the grant or for the funding, one of the stipulations, depending upon the agency, you have to pay, conduct an audit. In some cases, you have to pay it out of pocket, but you might be, I'll say 10, 15,000, but you might get 150, 200,000. It's one of the conditions. They want to ensure that our money, and not your money, it's ours, is being spent. That's it. If you're familiar with any kind of funding, it's a normal practice.
Okay, well, this is on.
Yes, sir.
When do we need to have this in there for? It's not like next month.
No, I didn't look back at it, and I thought it was at the end of this year, but we have to have it obligated by the end of next year and spent by 26.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to table it, and I'd like to look at the paperwork on that. I'm with Mr. Reed, it does sound awful weird to use the money that we're collecting to then pay them.
Welcome to the federal government.
Yeah.
Even though it was suggested by the NWA. I'll say.
I just
Bring that
haven't,
in.
I mean, we'll just table it till next month, and then that way I can read that. I mean, if that offends somebody, I mean,
I'm not offended, I was questioning.
it is odd, and I would just like to read the thing. I mean, if it's not a deadline by next month, that's what I would like to do, and I'll read it.
I'll second that motion.
I have a first and a second motion to table it. Call the vote.
Motion to table Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchings,
No.
Justice Shipman,
No.
Justice Brigham,
This is the table.
to
correct?
table.
Yes.
Justice Scrimmage,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White.
Yes.
Appropriation Ordinance 2023-101 to appropriate funds from American Rescue Fund 3046 to American Rescue Fund Promised Land Area Community Organization Fund 3046-0604. The amount will be $40,683 for construction of a multifunction protective concrete surface area for the Promised Land Area Community Organization.
Motion.
I got a first and a second. Questions first. Discussion? Yes, sir.
On a related subject, not particularly this ordinance, I'd like to get the court's opinion. You'll see at the bottom of the ordinance that the sponsors are, and that's the budget committee. I think that's inappropriate language. I don't think the budget committee sponsored the ordinance, they referred the ordinance. So I'd like to see a change in the body of ordinances to say when a committee refers an ordinance, that's different than sponsoring. Does that make sense? And I'd like to get the court's opinion on that. And I'll go forward with the Procedures and Management Committee if you guys think it's appropriate.
Would you say that again for me, please?
Sir?
Would you just repeat that again for me, please?
See, in the body of the boilerplate of ordinances, it says sponsored. And then if the budget committee, for example, refers it to the court, then it's listed as the budget committee sponsored the ordinance. Well, that's not right. If the budget committee didn't sponsor the ordinance, they thought the ordinance important enough to come to the court. Okay? And if we put, it was referenced by the budget committee for consideration of the court, that's more technically correct.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
In defense, you're correct, because what you have to go is we all get individual emails saying, here's an ordinance, would you sponsor it?
Yeah.
And they're two different actions.
Yes, ma'am.
I agree, and I think instead of, it should say budget committee versus the name, since we are having debate for every word in this letter.
I think this time it said that because there was a member not present. She wasn't with us at the time.
Sure.
But it still would have been, wouldn't it have still gone forward even if she had been against it? Because
I agree with you, yes.
because that would have been one to the other.
Thank you for consideration.
Good point. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I think that if we're in the committee and we think it should go forward, we should say we sponsored it. If not, we should kill it, committee.
Yes, ma'am.
I disagree on that. I think if there's members on the committee that are against it, then they should speak out that they're against it, but I think the decision needs to be the full court. And I think if you're against it, when it comes to the full court, then you need to give your reasons why you're against it, in my opinion.
Do we all concur that if there's 5 on the budget committee, that it would take at least 3 for it to go to Quorum court that like it? Because sometimes we send things up that not everybody's agreeing on. I'd like to be a majority before it comes to this floor.
May I respond?
Yes, sir.
The only issue with that is, in the committee, you might agree to it, and later on, you get data, and there, each member here is allowed to give their argument or counter argument, same thing like the audience can present their case. I know in some of the meetings, they said, let's forward this to the Quorum court, the full body, because there were members on the committee that didn't approve it. So I could see it, the committees the committees are advisory, and needing a sponsor is a whole different issue.
Should be 2 separate things.
Yeah, because that's gonna be what's on the ordinance, is who sponsored it. The people may want to know on this issue, who is against it or who is for it.
All right.
So that's not to belabor the point, we'll bring that up at procedures and management, be set there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any more discussion on the common swing ordinance?
Justice Hutchings,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham.
Yes.
Justice Scrimmett,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White.
Yes.
Justice Reed.
Yes.
Motion passes. Appropriation ordinance 2023-102, and to appropriate funds from American Rescue Fund 3046 to American Rescue Fund Oakland Area Improvement Association, Inc., Fund 3046-0607. The total amount will be $78,000. This court affirms the purchase of a generator for the community building, a refrigerator, freezer, and shed for food bank purposes for the Oakland Area Improvement Association, Inc., which would be useful to the residents of Marion County in the areas of Oakland, Promised Land, and Price Place.
Motion.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
On the line item, it says there's 16,000 for food, but it doesn't mention purchasing food in that section 1. Is that accurate?
Part of the food bank.
So where's this food bank purposes?
Yes.
Okay. I'm guessing that's referencing to where it says food bank purposes.
It says and shed for food bank purposes.
Yes, sir.
Respond, Mr. Chairman. In Oakland and Promised Land are one of the few areas that have community centers that are separate from the fire departments. Most of the areas have the fire department becomes a community center. When we've had power outages, ice storms, we've fed people with no power, no nothing. And now if they set up a food bank out in the lobby for people to come in or contact the president. So our area is a low to moderate income. There are people just struggling to make ends meet. And so to replenish, we had a major problem there 2 months ago, had to shut down, a health department issue with the building. It's been, I said, I've been here 40 years and I've never seen the building clean. And we had to shut it down for health. And now we have to get rid of stuff, a major clean out, and the community came to help and all volunteered. But now to go back and replenish it, we had other issues with funding for just a small area, small to the area, but in a major emergency, the people come there for their support. So it is an important thing to help them replenish their inventory. Thank you.
So I'd entertain a motion to amend it to where it says food and shed for food bank purposes.
I'll make a motion.
I got a motion.
Second.
I got a second. So I got a motion and a second to amend it to say food and shed for food bank purposes. All those on the amendment.
Would you read the sentence as amended?
The court affirms the purchase of a generator for the community building, a refrigerator, freezer, food, and shed for food bank purposes for the Oakland Area Improvement Association.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
On page 45, section 4, it says, to help with construction of a multi-function protected concrete surface area. I think that is for the previous ordinance.
Oh, that is.
So that is wrong.
Yes, that's a typo. That's from the previous,
Yeah,
Good catch.
we're not building a pickleball.
no.
So,
We had 21 of these, so, you know.
so section 4 needs to be struck.
Yes,
What section?
the whole section, yes.
Point of order. We have a motion. We have a motion and seconded. We need to vote on before we vote on another amendment.
All right, let's vote on the amendment for the food, please.
Sure.
We'll vote on the amendment part for the food.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchins.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion that we strike section 4 and change section 5 to the new number of section 4.
Second.
I got a first and a second on the amendment. Striking it.
Catching up.
Good. Ready?
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchins,
Yes.
Justice Shipman.
Yes.
Now we're back to the ordinance. Motion. I have a motion. Is that a second?
Yes. Second. I thought we did that already.
We did.
We did, okay, we'll do that.
Yeah, we were in discussion on the ordinance.
Gotcha.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yeah.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchins,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham.
Yes.
Motion passed. Appropriation Ordinance 2023-103 to appropriate funds from American Rescue Fund 3046 to American Rescue Fund Lakeway VFD Fund 3046-0505. The total amount will be $35,000 to be used towards the purchase of fire protection equipment and/or gear.
Motion. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Second.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yeah.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchins,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrima.
Yes.
Motion passed. Appropriation Ordinance 2023-104 to appropriate funds from American Rescue Fund 3046 to American Rescue Fund Ray Valley Fire Protection District Fund 30460506. The total amount will be $35,000. Funds to be used towards the purchase of fire protection equipment and/or gear for the Ray Valley Fire Protection District.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchings,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Yes, sir.
Can we, by chance, just read like the name of the fire department, since they're all the same, and then we have to read the whole title.
I'm going to motion to read by this.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules and just read it by the name of the fire department.
Second.
All right. Yes.
Appropriation ordinance 2023. Oh,
He's right, you're just one.
Not allowed to make mistakes up here.
I gotta go home.
okay. Justice White,
Yes.
Of course.
okay. Yeah, that's a question. Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchings,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Are we voting?
To suspend the rules to read by just.
Oh,
department
yes.
only.
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
All right, rules suspended to read by fire department name only.
Did we vote on this one?
Yes.
Not yet.
Vote on 1-5.
Yeah, we just voted on the motion to suspend the rules to read by title, by department name only.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
appropriation ordinance 2023-105. Oakland Promised Land Fire Protection District.
Motion.
Second.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchings,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White.
Yes.
Motion passes. Appropriation ordinance 2023-106, Peel Fire Protection District.
Motion.
Second.
Yeah, first and second.
Who was the second?
Second was White.
Justice Hutchings,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Reed.
Yes.
Motion passes. Appropriation ordinance 2023-107, Pine Mountain Volunteer Fire Department.
Motion.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. You get the second. Hold on.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchins.
Yes.
Motion passes. Appropriation ordinance 2023-108, Bruno Fire Protection District.
Motion.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchins,
Yes.
Justice Shipman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Justice Brigham.
Yes.
On ordinance 13, 14, and 15, Fairview, Lazy Acres, and Payette, are we still waiting for applications?
When I talked to Karen, earlier today, Karen said Pontiac was the only one. Is that correct?
We've not received Fairview, Lazy Acres, or Pyatt,
Okay.
those three.
You're
And
correct.
I spoke with Fire Chief Hannah, and he spoke to you, said that they had another month.
Yeah, they do,
Okay,
till the end of October. And they were all aware that they'll still get the money, because they
Okay.
can't do it without an applicant.
yes, ma'am.
For the next period.
So take 13, 14, 15.
Do you like those page numbers real quick? We're skipping pages.
59 through 64.
Man, those page numbers were a good idea.
So now on Ralph King. But you're still numbering, even though we get rid of them, the last one was 108, but you not.
Yeah, I think she doesn't have
Yeah.
to.
So I can go on to one.
Just one right where I'm Ralph King.
Appropriation ordinance 2023-109, Ralph Caney Fire Protection District.
Motion.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second.
It was my second.
Second, from Nichols. Justice Nichols.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yeah.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchins,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham.
Yes.
Motion passes. Appropriation ordinance 2023-110, Summit Fire Protection District.
Motion.
Second. I've got a motion and a second. Second was Hutchins.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yeah.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchins,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrima.
Yes.
Motion passes. Appropriation ordinance 2023-111, Yellville Fire Protection District.
Motion.
Second.
We got a motion and a second.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yeah.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchins,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols.
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay. Appropriation ordinance 2023-112 to appropriate funds for American Rescue Fund 3046 to American Rescue Fund Bull Shoals Fire Department Auxiliary Fund 3046-0517. The total amount will be $13,800. The purchase by the Bull Shoals Fire Department Auxiliary of wet dry suits and an aqua eye scanner.
Motion.
I've got a motion and a second. Second with Nichols. Any discussion?
Justice White?
Yes.
Justice Reed?
Yes.
Justice Hutchings?
Yes.
Justice Shipman?
Yes.
Justice Brigham?
Yes.
Justice Scrima?
Yes.
Justice Nichols?
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Question.
Yes, sir.
What happened to Fairview, Daisy Acres?
And Payette, that was the discussion I had with Justice Brigham. Sir, that was the discussion that I had earlier with Justice Brigham. They haven't done the application yet. They have another month to get the application in.
So are we tabling those ordinances?
We pulled them.
Pull them?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Amended appropriation ordinance 2023-113. This appropriation is for the transfer of additional funds needed for the construction of a building to house and protect the water rescue equipment, which is used by Marion County Emergency Rescue to assist E911, Corps of Engineers, Arkansas Game and Fish, and the U.S. Coast Guard in the amount of $100,000.
Motion.
I've got a motion and a second. Second was Hutchins. Discussion, yes, ma'am.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, Budget Committee, but if you refer back to page 37, it says, under item 11, the general discussion concerning the need and purpose led to tabling the ordinance for further court consideration. If I remember correctly, at the meeting, it was decided that y'all wanted someone from the water rescue to come and talk about it. So I believe this needs to be tabled or pulled or something, if I'm correct.
May I address it?
Yes, sir.
That was my concern. The basic concern was that's $100,000, but I got no details. It sounds like a good project, but I wanted to know more about what other professional services and construction projects, those types of high dollar things needed to come in front of the budget committee so we could ask questions about those. So we tabled it.
Yes, ma'am.
There was another one that also got tabled with the same understanding.
So you'd like to table this one until we have more discussion on it?
Right, the other one, there's not an ordinance for,
Okay.
but there's two of them.
I would entertain a motion to table.
Motion.
I've got a motion and a second to table. Motion was Nichols.
Thank you.
Table was Reed. All vote.
Justice Reed?
Yes.
Justice Hutchings?
Yes.
Justice Shipman?
Yes.
Justice Brigham?
Yes.
Justice Scrima?
Yes.
Justice Nichols?
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren?
Yes.
Justice White?
Yeah.
Motion passes.
This is back.
Appropriation ordinance 2023-114. This amendment will modify the currently appropriated budget and the numbers and compensation portion of the ordinance 22-98 for the two deputies currently employed in the clerk's office from the recorder's fund from 1325 to 1525.
Motion. I've got a motion and a second. Nichols motion, Hutchins a second. Discussion?
Justice Hutchings?
Yes.
Justice Shipman?
Yes.
Justice Brigham?
Yes.
Justice Scrima?
Yes.
Justice Nichols?
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren?
No.
Justice White?
Yes.
Justice Reed?
Yes.
Motion passes. Appropriation Ordinance 2023-115. This amendment will modify the currently appropriated budget and the numbers and compensation portion of Ordinance 2298 for one of the deputies currently employed in the clerk's office from County General from 1560 to 1650.
Motion.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
I prepared a speech, it takes about 10 minutes. Joking. I want to clarify something that I was made aware of. I actually support, we had some discussion earlier about sending it forward to the budget committee and not. I actually support the raise from 1325 to 1525. I just don't support the way that we're going about the raise. And to clarify what I mean by that, and the reason that I want to clarify is because I was not much short of persecuted in the court of public opinion for believing what I believe, because I didn't enlighten the people to my beliefs. A couple years ago, the biggest mistake that I made was I voted for a $2.50 an hour raise to come out of the recorder's fund and to pay her employees out of that special fund. And now looking back in hindsight, I believe that to be a mistake, because we have a double standard. Later, with the sheriff's office, we required that the sheriff's department pay with the tax money that is specific for the sheriff's department. We required that he utilize all that funding first, and then above and beyond his basic needs, he would use county general money. And that is contrary to what we're doing tonight, is we're allowing the office to use special funds to give a pay raise. The sheriff can't do that. If we switched it and treated both offices fairly, the sheriff could pay for his basic needs out of county general, and then he could use the money that was allocated specifically to him to give a raise or to buy new cars or to do whatever he's doing. And I'm sure that he would much appreciate that, and I would love to do that too. However, I can't do that in good faith because we can't afford it. But what I would like to see happen, and the reason I'm going to vote against this, and if I pick up support, then I do, and if I don't, I don't. I would like to use the special funds to cover the basic needs, the same as we do in the sheriff's department. And then if she needs a raise, the money should be appropriated as county general. And then we follow the same rules across the board. Not a special agenda, just a fair playing field. That's why I didn't support the last one, and that's why I won't be supporting this one.
So you're stating that, you, to make sure I'm following, that you want the special funds to be used for her day-to-day activities first. And then like every other entity that has to take raises out of county general, that's where her raise comes from as well.
Correct, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think that it's fair, and to further drive the point home, I do support the raise. I think that, obviously $13.25 is very low wage. I do support the raise. However, we're Mr. Reed, I'm not speaking for you, but in the past, you've mentioned that you would like to get everybody kind of level. But by voting for these raises, we're just bridging the same gaps. We catch one up and then we catch the other up. We're not addressing the problem, we're just kicking the can. That's about all I've got to say about that.
All right. Sure. Any more discussion?
Justice Shipman?
Yes.
Justice Brigham?
Yes.
Justice Scrima?
Yes.
Justice Nichols?
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren?
No.
Justice White?
Yes.
Justice Reed?
Yes.
Justice Hutchings?
Yes.
Motion passes. Appropriation ordinance 2023, an ordinance amending the annual operation budget for the office of the Marion County Assessor's Office, numbers and compensation ordinance 2022-98 for the annual operation budget for calendar year 2023, $2 per hour.
The number of this ordinance should be 116?
Yes.
Motion.
I have a motion. Second. I have a second. Motion was Reed, second was Hutchins. Discussion.
What page are we on?
We are on page 86, I believe. A lot of paper. Yes, sir.
Is this, is the page 87, is that something completely different? So,
It's a property lot.
yeah, we're on the assessor's office on page 86, but we don't have the breakdown of where that money's coming from or anything? Like the last one did? I mean, that's just one page, page 86. The last one was. See how see the difference in page, like say 80? And page 86.
Call from the funds.
Well, yeah, so like page 80,
I'm tracking.
yeah.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
On that ordinance, it does clarify section 2, that she gets reimbursed from the state, and that's where that money's gonna come from. That's how I stand that. The assessor's office is refunded, an average of 93 to 100% of the final tax statement at the end of each year. So that's right there.
Yes, sir.
I would like to remind everybody of the letter that Eddie Jones sent us when it comes to section 2. Right? I mean, I have a couple of questions, but I don't know where the money's coming from. You can't just increase your budget. It was already budgeted money, and so we're just changing numbers to comp maybe? I mean, I'm just comparing that back to page 80. It just says 1450 to 1650 proposed pay. I don't understand what change we're making. Okay, I'm not trying to be argumentative. Was the budget was set already for the $2? Okay, but you have to have the money to pay for it, the change. Where's that at? You see what I'm saying? Can I go back and forth for a minute, Judge?
No, yes, sir. I guess, so she has a signature.
Okay, on page 80, you got a packet there, we did. On page 80, it's like, it's showing where the money's coming from. Well, wherever it's at. Now you're,
And then I got her recorder's phone?
no, hers specified, right, it was recorder's fund.
Yeah, mine comes out of 10%.
Okay, so do you have another ordinance that's showing that we're gonna take more money out of county general and put it in your budget?
No, I just thought you would change numbers in comps, but,
20. Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
2022-98.
correct me if I'm wrong, you're almost right, Karen, that we're gonna raise the money, raise now, be paying now. The money won't come in to the end of the year with tax settlement. So every year, you're gonna have that, the money to fund that is gonna be coming in next year.
I believe he wants to see the fund number
Yes.
on where the money's at now
Yeah.
and where the
He's
money's
right.
coming from, like all the other ordinance have the fund number, so we have it tracking. Yes, go, ma'am.
So instead of just amending the 2022-98 budget, I need to put on there coming from county general to county general line items, whatever.
Correct. To the fund you want to put it in to make the raise and where it's coming from.
It's the same fund.
Fine.
Go ahead, sir.
Let me clarify my question. If the person currently is being paid $14.50 an hour, and then you're going to begin paying them $16.50 an hour, that's going to cost more money between now and December 31st.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to pay them as of today
Yeah.
or January 1st.
Well, if you're,
Yeah,
I mean, if we do this today, you can't give them a raise, you won't be able to support it unless you give them money. Yeah.
So you got to still show the fund number.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, I get it now.
yeah,
We have to
raise her budget,
Personnel services.
yes, to pay for the raise.
Take it until we get better.
Well, we're not doing anything to pass this. Because you don't have money. Unless your budget already was,
By how it reads.
right. And that happened with some offices accidentally, but they were
There
given.
is none, I don't know exactly how much is in there. I know there's money, but I don't know how much. So, I get you.
What fund is it? You know that?
No, I don't.
Take it.
It's got a county general.
Oh.
I know what happened. Yes, sir. In budget 2298, when the budget was approved by the budget committee, the decision was made that the various budgets that were submitted were going to be held to a certain level. Some county offices received an increase in their budget, but the numbers in comp was not changed. Mine was one of them. So my employees' raises were put in there. However, the numbers in comp didn't reflect it. So I went back in and readjusted my budget, cut everything as far as expenses, and actually cut my budget, but came back before the Quorum court to increase numbers in comp. So I saved the county money, but gave my people an increase. Other county budgets, and I don't know about the collectors or the assessors, but their budgets, a lot of county budgets reflected the appropriate amount of money for a pay raise because Judge Massey had worked the budgets and done that. So it was built into the budget, but it wasn't reflected in numbers and comp. So she may very well have the money, but I can't speak to that because I don't know what the percentages are, what's been spent, what has come. Right.
But I believe what Justice Van Kuren is asking for is the line item number from county general to be on the ordinance to show that's going into her line item to be paid.
Only if it is
If
already
not.
budgeted.
Yeah.
Correct.
But it could,
But we don't know it at this point.
correct, but I was gonna support this one.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
if the revenue account from the treasurer's office has an excess to meet that, then she can appropriate that unappropriated money. Otherwise, I don't know where you're getting it.
Any more discussion? Yes, sir.
I just don't think we should put the cart in front of the horse. We need to do it all together. That way, if something changed between now and next month, we didn't give a raise and then retract the raise. That wouldn't be popular.
Yes.
I motion to table it until next month.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second to table. Yes, ma'am.
That's perfectly fine with me, and I agree 100%, and I should have thought about that. So next month, when I come back, can I put into my ordinance retro back to this month? Instead of waiting on another whole month, I'm not going to raise everything after.
I think that's a dangerous thing to, I really.
Yes, sir.
If the money's there, only you and the controller could have take the numbers in comp, extend it out, and see what the, including benefits, what the total amount would be, and see what was budgeted. Due to some, like you were saying, it's possible that what was budgeted is more than what you're paying already. It's just every year, it never gets caught. So if it's there, no problem. If it's not there, then, like Ken was saying, you gotta get it from
Yeah.
somewhere.
For sure, I understand that. My question was if I could just retro.
I would,
I mean, is that legal? I mean, can I do that?
I would.
Yes, sir.
What you should do, if you want to budget retro, is you should bring two. One that retros it, one that doesn't.
Yeah.
Choice could be made that night.
That's true.
And we can go home early then.
I have a motion and a second to table. Motion.
Second.
We've already got it. I've already got the few. Get ready to call though.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchings.
Yes.
Justice Shipman.
Yes.
Motion passes. Marion County Appropriation Ordinance 2023-117, and appropriation ordinance to amend the 2023 County Annual Budget Ordinance 22-98, and amendments thereto to appropriate funds from the Collectors Automation Fund to cover postage, membership, and dues and computer software support.
Motion.
Second.
You got a motion and a second? Any discussion? Yes, sir.
This is another one where there's a line item in there for $1,000 of overtime. It's not mentioned in any of the prior articles or descriptions.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to address Gypsy. In the collector's office during October, it's standard to have overtime. That is always in the budget. I'm just changing funds.
I didn't understand. It was in a line item, but not anywhere else in the ordinance.
Yeah, I'm just moving money from one fund to another.
Yes, ma'am.
And I would also like to make an amend on this ordinance. In Article 2, where it says transfer postage, it says in the amount of. That needs to be scratched. That was an error in typing. Yeah.
I make a motion to scratch in the amount of that of Article 3.
Here's the one.
I got a motion and a
I
second.
did a new one, but I was advised just to amend this one.
I got a motion and a second to amend. Yes, ma'am.
I would like Article 2 read out loud, because there's an awful lot of transfers to, so it just needs to go postage in the amount of, there's no amount there.
That's what I'm
Dues and
amending.
membership, there's no amount there. Support,
There, it's further down in here where they're being,
so it should just say postage, dues, and membership support and computer software. Is that how it should be reading?
yes, without the amount up here because it's all broken down in the bottom.
Would you read it aloud for us, please?
I'll volunteer.
Okay, all right.
Transfer to 1,104, 3,021 postage, 1,104, 3090 dues and membership, 1,104, 3102 support, and 3,001, 0104, 3102 computer software and support.
And then you have to add
Right.
3001, 0104, 1005 overtime.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yes, ma'am. I am too.
Okay, could we go ahead and amend that and put that in here?
I want to
The way it
change my motion to where it reads that we're going to strike that and add the transfer of 3,001, 0104, 1,000.
So the motion will be for both amendments at the same time.
Yeah, we've already discussed this, I shouldn't do that, but I'm not going to.
I have a motion to accept both amendments. Okay. I have a second. This is a vote to accept both amendments. Yes.
Would you like me to read it one more time?
I think we're good. Yeah.
Just wanted to read it out.
This is for the amendment. Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols.
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yeah.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutching,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham.
Yes.
Hiring. Yes, sir.
We're going to vote on the ordinance now.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'd like to thank that guy for shaking things up. Did you do it whenever the audience talks like mad at me?
No.
He's contributing. I like that. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutching,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Appropriation ordinance 2023-118. This appropriation is for the transfer of funds from the Sheriff's Office Walmart Grant Fund for Shop with a Cop and law enforcement clothing and uniforms in the amount of $5,500 as follows.
Motion.
Second.
I got a motion and a second.
5,000.
Any discussion?
Justice Nichols, the next one is for $5,000.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yes,
And second. We take money out of that?
Hold on. We have more discussion, I didn't see any hands. Yes, ma'am.
My question is for, the shop with the cop, so with our community, isn't that kind of needed for some of these children? I understand we need uniforms, and I get every bit of that, I am all with the, sheriff department, but some families are relying on having a little bit of that shop with the cop, I would think.
may I address this just a minute?
Yes, sir.
There's $5,500 in it. Last year, we spent somewhere around $1,500
Okay,
on the children for the counties. We're planning on spending the same $1,500 again this year.
okay,
So there's $1,500 going to the kids, and $3,500 going to them.
okay, I appreciate that, thank you.
All right.
I was just worried about the kids.
We've got a few.
Thank you.
Any more discussion?
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yeah.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchings,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrimmett,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
motion passes. Appropriation ordinance 2023-119. This appropriation is for the transfer of funds for the purchase of law enforcement pistols in the amount of $5,000 from the Arvest Foundation.
Motion.
I've got a motion.
Second.
I got a second. Any discussion?
Justice White,
Yeah.
Justice Reed,
Yes.
Justice Hutchings,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice Scrimmett,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren.
Yes.
Motion passes. Resolution 2023-6. Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Marion County, State of Arkansas, a resolution honoring the youth and leadership of the Marion County 4-H by proclaiming the month of October as 4-H month.
You go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
All right, announcements. Mrs. Bennett.
Oh, that's me. Well, some of you may or may not know that I am the new Veteran Service Officer. I've been here.
Sorry, Mom.
I've been here since May, and we have had a huge increase in the amount of veterans that have come in. I help them get their benefits, I help them get health care, loans, burial plots, schooling, all kinds of stuff. As of last month, we had a huge uptick in the amount of people that come in. I'm here 16 hours a week and packed, completely packed full of people. In addition to helping the vets in that way and filing the things for them because it's very complicated, I'm trying to figure out the paperwork. They come in and we can take care of them pretty quickly. Also in that, I do community outreach. I've been going to the Legions, the VFWs, different things like that so that we can get the word out to the veterans that Marion County is offering this service to them so that I can get the help that are needed. We've had an uptick of Vietnam veterans that have never had any benefits whatsoever, never filed for anything, are now filing and getting their benefits. I also go to home visits to where some of the people that can't come out to the office, I'll go there and do things with them as well. So I just wanted to put out there that we are doing a lot for the veterans. I put out different flyers. We have started a Facebook page with the approval of the judge. We put that out there, and it is completely done for veteran information. I put up the flyers that are different things, such as the food bank that we're trying to get, different food drives for the VFWs and Legions, different things they have going on for the kids. We have a DAV picnic in October that all veterans and families can come to. We also are gonna have a tri-county Veterans Fair next year, which will include, I believe, Cleburne County, Marion County, and Baxter County. Baxter County had one last year, and we had a large amount of veterans that came into that and had different services for them all. So I just wanted to let you guys know that that service is working very well for our veterans, and we keep getting more and more and more in. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to address a couple of things you said. As collector, we do DAVs, and in your travels and flyers and possibly Facebook, if you could let all the DAVs know to get paperwork into our office by October 15th, so they can take
Advantage of their 100%.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, ma'am, I will do that. October 15th?
Yes, if it's after October 15th, my hands are kind of tied.
Understand. Okay.
All right. Yes, sir.
I just want to say, as a disabled veteran in the county, you're doing an awesome job. The social media is awesome. Everything I've heard about you has been awesome. What, if anything, can the people in this room do to help you help the veterans?
We need to get more word out. We need to more walk the walk and talk the talk. We need to get more stuff for them. And if someone needs help, or if we have these different events, such as the food drives and things like that, we have a lot of veterans that are suffering right now. I mean, a lot of regular people are as well. But a veteran, to me, is just a little bit of a special type of person. They've gone out there and they've done what they can to make our United States what it is for us to be able to have a lot of the freedoms we have. So to me, the veterans are very important. If we can get, say, more people involved on the Facebook page to share stuff so we can get more information out, that would be wonderful, getting information out to more people so I can get, and yeah, so that I can get more help out there. So if someone's able to help, we've had donated ramps. I just had a lady donate 3 ramps and a wheelchair because someone had passed away in her family, donated it to the DAV today. So I'm working very closely with the DAV and Legions in order to have all that information out there and be able to get it. When I have a donation that doesn't go to the DAV or the Legion, I put it out there on the Facebook page and get the word out there so that veterans can contact me and I can get them in contact with the correct person.
Yes, ma'am.
There was a wonderful article in today's Baxter Bulletin in regards to the Veterans Fair that they had over the weekend. And one of the things that was brought out in that article was that suicide in Baxter County, they're the highest in the state. And a lot of those were veterans until they got a special group of people together to work with veterans to help them. And that's now has dropped considerably. If you get the Baxter Bulletin, it's a wonderful article. It's a real eye-opener. So thank you for everything that you do.
And I'd also like to reiterate, if you don't mind, when they do come in and talk to us and I feel that there is an issue, I have had a couple people in there that I was concerned about. I do make sure they check in with me, and I have called those several people that I felt maybe needed a little extra help. They live alone. They don't have a whole lot. They don't have the support of family, children, that type of thing. I do reach out to them. So a lot of my time is put into the computer work, but I'm also doing a lot on my own time. So I am calling them. I am going and visiting. I'm doing everything that I possibly can because it is very special. It is very important to me. I have a lot of veterans in my family. It's my husband, Joe. He's a veteran as well. So I have had the passion to help these vets for many years. I'm from Indiana. I did it in Indiana as well. Not as a VSO, but I did get out to try to help our vets as much as possible. So if anybody has anything they want to do to help a vet, you have something you need to give away, you have food, you have something, just get a hold of me. And my office is right there. And then also the ladies in the judge's office will let me know anything.
that is needed.
Yes, sir.
The senior center would also work in tandem with you on that. We have, activities and things that the veterans can come in, play pool, they have games and things, and they can go ahead and eat. And Meals on Wheels can deliver. Of course, they have to be, you know, like you said, Vietnam veterans, they would qualify because they would fall in that 60 over.
Yes, just made me remember, there is a, organization that is now building, they're called Safe Shelters. It's in the Cotter area, and they just sent me an email. They are wanting to house homeless vets for free.
All right.
So if anybody knows or has heard of anything, they've not completed it yet, but they are starting to do these, they call them safe shelters, and they want to be able to help homeless vets as well. So I do have a place for some to go if that is needed.
Well, thank you so much for all the information and what you're doing. Yes, sir.
I recommend that Veterans Affairs reports to the court as do other regular departments.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry, I totally missed that immediately. I'm so sorry.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, I'm sorry, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, one more. Hold on, we got somebody speaking, sorry.
Yeah, I would like to thank the judge and the board here for helping me get the appropriation of $35,000 from the department.
Thank you, sir.
Greatly needed. Question, what are the time restraints as far as spending this money and putting in the receipts?
You have until the end of 2026 to spend the money.
The end of 2026?
Yes, but when you have a purchase or anything that you're gonna do, you need to bring the receipts to our office, the county judge's office. And that way we can reimburse. If you wanna meet me out there, I'll explain everything to you.
No, I'm sure some of the other departments would like to.
You just bring receipts to us, to our office, you can email them, but preferably original if you can. If you order stuff online, send us those receipts, but we will reimburse you. We don't give you money directly, we can't do that, the way we're set up, but we can help pay for your things. We can reimburse you.
All right. I've had a motion and a second to adjourn. Meeting adjourned.
Say your name is Joe.
Good job.